it's interesting, right? Fear is never a long-term motivator.
Yeah.
Like, fear can get you tight for a second, but unless your why is stronger than the immediate, like, you're not gonna last on that thing.
Welcome back.
That's my dog.
It's your favorite podcast, but specifically the Next Level
Hold
Living
up,
podcast.
right? I'm like,
this is
the
my
Next Level Living
moment.
podcast.
Bristol, this is
Your
my
favorite
moment.
podcast.
Just don't
This
fumble.
episode is
podcast.
special.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to do this differently.
Yeah, but
if you
okay.
don't flow with me, they won't flow with me. I need you to
yeah,
rock
it
with me.
would- okay.
We rolling. It's that type of podcast. Rated #1 podcast amongst anybody who like podcasts. Even with that BTS footage I just got. I mean, behind the scenes. Yep, welcome to it.
Ooh, welcome.
It's that type of podcast, y'all. We back. I'm Mike Mouse, man. I got some special people with me. You've seen one of them show some of their special abilities. K-Hart, how you feeling? Don't pose for him.
Pose for him, cuz.
Hey, how you feeling, Kay?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
That's what's up.
I'm thankful that you came back around and introduced the name of the podcast because, like, you know, it's important for people to know who we are.
Keep them sharp, Chris.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Keep them sharp.
Moving on.
We all on
Jay?
the team.
We what?
Jay here on Team Mike.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You like
I ain't hear no
ain't
why
add
on
the
there.
Y to it.
What's
Nope.
up?
It's a new day.
It is.
It's a
I
new
rock
season.
with it. How
Absolutely.
you feeling, my boy?
Man, bro, I'm excited. Today's episode is going to be special. You know, it's funny too because people see like where I am in life, and they see a lot of my close friends that I've met maybe over the last maybe 5 or 6 years, but now y'all get to meet some people that I've known for 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, y'all know me and Mike go back from when. How could I say this without him feeling attacked?
Bro,
If you're talking
I
about the
know.
hair
You tell everybody I had a perm.
with the perm.
Okay.
It was a lie, bro.
Just
I just had long
for
hair,
me.
and I
Bruh,
straightened it.
it wasn't straight. Okay.
It was
okay,
straight,
bro. A perm
But when you
or
say a
straightened?
perm, it making people say that you put product on your hair to make it straight.
Bro, it was straight. That's the point.
Hot iron.
Yeah.
Hot iron.
So look, so we go back, but
Hot,
my God,
flat iron.
hey, we back on me.
Oh,
Hey,
for
but
sure.
my God, oh man, listen
We
to
back
me.
on me. It's crazy.
Today we got my brother James Brandon, aka J Boogie, is in the building, man.
AKA James Eat Plants
Wait,
yeah.
what?
on the gram.
Yeah, on the gram,
For
James
sure.
E. Plants.
What's up?
We go
Okay.
back like ministry,
Yeah.
Madison Mission,
Yeah.
right? We jumped out the gate together, and he was there for the origins, right? Like when I was just trying to figure it out. He was right by my side, man. So and he's got his own ministry movement going on. He'll tell y'all about the Boogie. How you feeling, man?
I feel good. I'm glad to
Good.
be here. I love the energy. Man,
Yeah.
I'm amongst family. This is great.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So look, speaking of amongst family, you got a Chris. Tell him about somebody in our family
Right.
community. You like I did it? I got
I like how you did that.
Go for it.
Swerve. Yeah. Speakers Academy.
on.
Y'all know we do highlights
Yeah.
every week. But sometimes it feels a little like we violating their privacy because they went it so hard that when I say Felix Bobo made $55,000 in 1 month,
Come on, Felix.
it feels like I'm not supposed to tell you that. But that's what he did.
Come on, Felix.
And if he didn't, that's what God did. God did.
Right.
For sure. Oh, yeah, back to
Yeah.
Bobo.
Back,
For sure.
back to Bobo.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Go
he's
ahead,
been rocking
Kay.
with the community for about a year? How long? A year and a half? So yeah. So
Shout
y'all
out
know what's
to Felix
possible.
Bobo.
Over you.
And I'm sure
Crazy.
Felix was here. Felix was like, yo, it was a time when I was trying to make $55,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, I did that in 1 month, man. But,
Yeah.
you know, the process works if you work it. So
Yeah.
shout out to Felix, man.
For
I
sure.
love it, man. I was actually at a gig, I think, in Cali. And that's when I first got to meet him in person. And he pulled up on me. It was like, bro, I'm in the Community Speakers Academy. We got to connect and embrace. He was like, I see you. And now he out here just doing this thing, man. So shout out to Felix. Shout out to Stevan, the whole squad. You know what I'm saying? That holds us
Shout
down.
out.
Yeah,
sure.
and with that being said, shout out to my brother, my partner, my boy, James Brandon, Boogie. Man, I could talk so much about you, bro.
Speaking of Boogie, can you grab that tissue off your elbow? Because that's crazy, and I can't focus. I'm just over here thinking about. We got to get that out the shop, my boy. Because
It's all
we
good.
gonna get
Yeah.
into it.
It's clean. It's clean.
Nah,
this for my glisten.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because Jeremiah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm not touching that with my ornament.
James, you already know the energy. So
Hey, Mike ain't changed. Man.
Right.
Yeah, he go from the clown to the victim real quick.
What is going on?
Huh?
Where did you hear victim in there at all?
I'm saying,
It was
not
on
right
your
now.
heart.
Not right now.
It
but
was-
now you are.
My goodness.
dang. How did,
Look at Stevan. Stevan's like, yeah.
What?
All right, so look, y'all know we like
Anyway.
to cut up, but seriously though.
Yeah, for talk to him.
how did y'all meet? How did y'all meet?
That's the time when Jeremy's selling drugs at the trap, and Jeremy was and Jay was driving by. He's like, "Yeah, I ain't doing that." He's like, "All right, cool. Holler at me about 4 years after I get my life right."
Was it
And
Mommy Pat when we first met?
Yeah, Mommy Pat.
Oh wow.
So
that?
so backstory. So I give my life to Christ to get baptized. Pastor Doggett, I'm like, bro, let me just scrape the gum off the floor, like the lowly shot. He's like, bump that. I'm gonna connect you with Mommy Pat Simmons. Shout out to Mommy Pat out in Miami. He connected me with her. She was like, I'm starting a youth and young adult outreach team. I want you to head it up. She was like, let's go to lunch. Where we go?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Because
the little pasta joint.
Carrie used to work there, I think. I don't know if you remember
Who's
Carrie with the
Carrie?
dreads. Anyway, she set up a little spread for
Norton.
us. Yeah.
My dog. So we went there and ate, and Boogie showed up.
Wow.
Yep. And we just kind of began to just build from there.
For sure.
That was probably what, 13, 14 years ago.
That's been a minute.
Yeah. Praise God, man.
That's dope.
And so, I've seen Boogie speak. I've seen him preach all over the country. We've done so many work at universities, and it's just been a lot. And so, yeah, how you feeling, bro? Talk to me.
I'm good. So, I mean, y'all know Jeremy, now, but, from connected, it's so cool because you have people in your life that, like, your brothers because of something else.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, the thing that connected me and Jay was God. Like, we were really like, man, we got to spread this message. We got to spread the gospel out here. And, like, I remember going out with Jeremy, throughout the neighborhoods and different things. We just knocking on people's doors, asking if they need any help. I was working at the time. We were spending money out of our own pockets.
Right.
This wasn't church stuff. This was like, people come to the
Church is
door
broke.
saying,
Yeah.
I don't have any diapers. My light's about to get cut off, whatever. We'd be like, okay, cool. Give me your bill. So we about to go to the, you know what I'm saying? How many diapers? But like, we do all that. And I just remember how confident I felt because we're going into these,
In the hood.
we going in the hood, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
I was there. I
like,
remember. For sure.
I'm not really from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jeremy's from the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not really. But I remember like how confident.
Crystal died. That's crazy.
Mike is tainting Crystal right
That's
now.
wild.
It's okay, cuz. I
Okay,
know.
I'm gonna get it together.
That was me too.
But go ahead, boo.
But I remember how confident I felt going with Jeremy. Like, so part of it was like, Jeremy can hold his own. But the biggest part of it was like, I just felt like he was someone, like he was a leader that I wanted to follow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
was,
yeah.
willing to take a step out on faith and do, whatever God called him to do. And I was
Right.
like, yo, like I see that. I like that. I'll rock with that. I'll follow that. You know what I'm saying? So like that was special. I've always seen Jeremy as like my big bro in the faith.
Right.
And, it's because his, confidence, his Godfidence, right? That, allowed you to walk into these spaces and, have people follow you and, do the mission of God together. So it's been special, man. We've gone on road trips, man. I remember when, you used to go preach and I used to rock with you, me and you.
Yeah.
You used to be down there preaching. I used to be in the study praying for you.
Yep. He would literally be interceding. Most homeboys, I want to sit in the audience. I'm gonna affirm the word.
Yeah.
Deanna, he in the pastor study, like interceding as I'm preaching. He like, just don't forget to come get me.
Right.
When you done.
Right. I'm trying to eat too after this is finished.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah, but I mean, also what probably a lot of people don't know is the whole concept for the Grace Tour. Bro, when me, you, and Shay went to Greensboro, North Carolina I think you were speaking and we had your booth and everything and we were doing all, bro.
Bro, I just told the story.
Did you just tell
With the
that?
pastor?
yeah.
Go ahead.
You told it? Just recently told it?
Yeah.
in the previous episode.
Oh, bro, I think I remember viewing that, and it took me back there, and I just like, yo, Jay had so much humility, bro, because he wanted to
Oh, for sure.
the flesh. That was the spirit between the flesh
That guy
and
had
the
a
spirit.
plan for my man.
It was a battle. Yeah,
Oh, bro.
yeah,
I want to take his kneecaps out.
bro. Look at you now, though.
Praise God.
Look at him now, still talking specifically about exactly what body part he wanted to break. That's
I mean,
crazy.
but I didn't do it though.
Kneecaps is a very specific thing. My kneecap is hurting at the moment. Like, I feel exactly what you were thinking.
And it was a compromise because I felt like I was so played and humiliated, and I was so angry because it was probably about 100 people in the lobby, bro.
Yeah,
It was.
I remember.
People was registering for this conference. I went straight streets, bro. So I'm like, yo, my man not gonna see tomorrow,
Right.
And then God was like, bro, you not gonna take his life. You not about that life. I was like, all right, well, he was gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Like,
Right.
my brain.
He was trying to negotiate with God.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
God
all right.
was like, "You not gonna touch him. You not gonna say nothing to him. You actually gonna pray and see, bro." We jumped in the truck.
Yep,
Bro,
I remember.
cried. Like I was punching the stick. Like I was.
Bruh, I
struggling.
remember, bro. Your grip on that steering wheel, bro. Your knuckles were white. Like it was a lot, bro. It was a spiritual warfare, but it hurts when it's from people that are supposed to be
Right.
within the fold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and lifting you up and empowering you, and encouraging you. But I mean, even that, man. It's just I've seen Jeremy, and I've seen so many different sides of Jeremy. You know, the husband, the father, the leader, the entrepreneur, like all of those things. Like it's really inspiring. And just to know, like, that's my boy. Like, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
just to see how much impact he's making is phenomenal, man. I'm just super
Man.
excited to be like, I feel like I'm still on this journey with you, and you have so much more to reach. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, and I'm proud of you, bro. I seen how and that's what we're gonna talk about today. You've paved your own way,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know you still got a word, still a preach and speak, but now when it comes to health,
yeah,
right, and wellness,
Yeah.
man, can you talk about?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, okay,
too.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Chris. My bad.
I would say talk about your journey. Our viewers don't know how involved you are with the plant-based like diet and helping people to heal from the inside out.
Yeah.
And also your work with Mike. How did you and Mike meet, and how did you start that journey with Mike? And then we'll start there and then go back into your journey of
That's
how you
good.
even got to the point you are today.
For sure.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, health is definitely something I'm passionate about. Like super passionate about. I never ever thought I would be here. It's just a God thing. Like just like God just like order my steps. So I'm just here trying to be faithful, with where I'm at. But yeah, just helping people heal their bodies, reverse disease, lose weight, just live in abundance. Like we always talk about abundance, and typically we're talking about finances or just other areas, right? Marriage, whatever. But like, man, your health is your wealth.
Facts.
So like actually helping people get there, it's it's a passion of mine, but I feel like God has just given me that assignment. Like do this. Like this is what the people need. Like we got people doing this over here. We got people doing that. But like we need you. Like we need you to do this. We need you to set the people free. Break generational health curses.
Come on.
And just really, show people what God's plan is for their lives regarding their health so they can live, their best life now. So that's where we're at.
Why does that mean so much to you?
It just means so much to me just because of my journey, just being here. And I'll give you a little bit of background how I
Please.
got here. So basically, I remember 2005, I was in college, interning in DC, just super excited about, my life. Ended up getting a call, hey, we need you to come home. I'm like, yo, I'm in the middle of this internship. What do you mean? I was kind of really out of the blue. Came back home. And then like my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, we're like all there, which is kind of weird. Like we grew up in a military family, so we've always been traveling all over the place. So it's kind of like weird to get a call like, hey, come home. We all there sitting down. And then mom is like, hey, we just want all the kids here together because we just want to let you know that dad has cancer. It's stage 4 and he has 4 months to live. So like all of that, like I'm a sophomore in college. I'm like, I'm not thinking about nothing happening to my family members.
Right.
Like, I'm just trying to, I mean, real talk. Like, I was in college. I was a frat boy. I'm living my best college life.
Right.
So to hear that was like, whoa. But the thing about it is that I heard that it hit me like a ton of bricks, but at the same time, I mean, nowadays you hear cancer all over the place, but this was 20 years ago almost.
20 years ago.
So like, it wasn't something that I was accustomed to hearing.
Yep.
Like literally, that was the first person that's close to me that I've ever heard that had cancer. Right? So it was brand new and hit me like a ton of bricks. But so I was kind of naive to like the process and what that looked like.
Okay.
So the whole 4 months to live like freaked me out. I'm like, what you mean 4 months and then you gonna die?
Right.
Like I still need my dad. Like what do you mean? Like what you mean?
That's real.
But like we come from medical families. So my mom's a nurse. So they all came from the islands. There's probably like 8 or 9 of them. I probably should know how many aunts and uncles I have, but it's a bunch of them. But they all did medicine. The majority of them did medicine. So like doctors, nurses, like, you know, probably like 80, 90% of them are doctors and nurses. Like 4 aunts that are nurses, a few uncles that are doctors, blah, blah. So much so that they all came together and like started their own medical clinic because they was all working all over the city.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, one of my aunts who did business, so they was like, yo, Lou, let's just start our own family business. It's still there in Huntsville.
Wow.
Right off Wall China. But anyway, so my dad got cancer, so I'm like outsourcing everything, like all the information and all like the protocol to like my mom, who's a nurse, and all the family. They're like, no, we're about to get him tight. We're gonna do chemo. We're gonna do radiation. We're gonna do all the things.
Right.
You know, we're gonna refer you to the best specialist. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, my dad is Superman. Like my dad's gonna push through. They say in 4 months, but like if you do all this stuff, you should have more time.
Right.
So he did have more time. God blessed, and he actually lived 4 years instead of 4 months.
Oh, wow. Praise God.
So he praised God for that, but he did end up passing away. After that, I was like, okay, well, you know, my dad went into remission a couple of times. I thought he was like in the clear.
Right.
We're like, okay, we're good to go. That's behind us. And then I was just like, all right, well, like why didn't it work? You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't the chemo, if you got the top specialist, if you got this and that, and if you was in remission, like why didn't it all work out?
Yeah.
And I think from that point, I'm like, yo, let me do my own research. I really wanted to like understand like why do people get cancer? Like up until this point, everything was outsourced. So my family, they doing the stuff, right? I'm just here, you know, as the son, watching my dad and just like trying to support. But I'm like, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm a business major. I've never ever thought about health. I've pretty much been healthy my whole life. So I'm just like, okay, that's them. But at this point, I'm like, okay, let me do my own research. And as I kind of like started reading books and reading articles and watching documentaries, everything led to like the convergence of like diet and disease, and how disease, in essence, a huge part of it is directly related to diet. And I remember watching one documentary, I think it's called
What the Health?
So that came way later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Fast Food Nation.
That was excellent.
No.
Nah, it wasn't What the Hell. Nah, that came.
No, I said Fast Food Nation. Or like, what is it?
There was one,
Super Size Me or something like that?
So all those are good. So the one that I saw
Forks and
was
Knives.
Forks Over Knives.
Forks Over
Knives. It was 2. Forks Over Knives and Food Matters. Those were the 2 that I watched that I was like, whoa, mind blown. But there was a experiment on Forks Over Knives where they had mice, and they gave the mice animal protein. And when they gave the mice animal protein, they begin to have like tumors on their body. And then when they took it away and gave them plant protein, like the tumors went away. And they just kept doing this over and over and over again. So it's like, it was basically turning on and off tumor growth, cancer growth.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, snap.
Right.
Like this is just an experiment with mice, but I mean, just a light bulb went off like, oh, so if you're basically manipulating, you're turning good health on and turning bad health, or turning on and off good and bad health by manipulating the amount of plants versus the amount of animals.
Wow.
Right.
So I'm like, this is a cheat code right here. Like, so the amount of plants, which all plants are alkaline, all meat, dairy, etc., is acidic.
Okay.
So no disease can thrive in an alkaline environment.
Okay.
So the environment of your body matters because disease can only come about if your body's in an acidic environment. So yeah, if you turn that thing alkaline and get it all the way over 9.0, 9.5, 10.0, all the way on the alkaline side, like there's no place for disease to latch hold. So it's like it's a game changer. So when I started learning that, I'm like, this is wild. But I mean, it's so simple, but it's just like the application, right?
Right.
You know, back then there wasn't really anything plant-based. Like it's a big business now when you go to the grocery store and you get plant-based this plant, but that's I mean, a lot of that stuff is not going to help you. It's not going to heal you. And we'll get to that in a second, but that's kind of been the journey. I found out what worked. I tried it on myself. At the time I was, you know, graduated working in corporate America, you know, feeling a little bit tired, feeling a little bit lethargic, you know, brain fog, all these different things. I started incorporating more plants. I'm Gucci real quick. Like, I'm like, oh, this was like kind of like magic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then I shared with a couple more people who had bigger issues, right? Type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these different things. And I'm just casually sharing things with people and they're like doing the stuff and they're like, yo, I'm feeling so much better. I've lost so much weight, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just giving them principles. I'm not even giving them like a protocol, like do this, do this, do this, do this. So it was from then that I'm like, God, what are you doing? And the kicker, and this is phenomenal right here, man. Look how God works. So a few years after that, my mom ended up getting pancreatic cancer.
Come on.
Man, I remember flying back to England and walking through that door and seeing my mom, and I'm just like, oof. Like I looked at my mom for the first time and like she looked so sick. And like I've never seen my mom like that. My mom's always been, you know, strong, healthy. And I remember seeing my mom and anyway, long story short, she had pancreatic cancer. And I remember sitting down with mom, like, Mom, here's all the things we did with that. Radiation, chemo, all these things that were super invasive, right? And I'm like, we have to do something different this time.
Right. James,
because I need you around.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
How
old were you when this happened? Because I'm trying to visualize a son having a conversation with his mom and you seeing her looking terminal or her looking sick. Like, as a son who's deeply attached to his mother, take us through that thought process for you to be a grown up.
Yeah.
Put yourself in that space to be like, Mama, I want to have a real conversation with you and break that down. Like, how was the feeling? What was your thought process? Break that down for us, because that's a moment I want the viewers to be able to picture.
Yeah, good question. So I was, I think probably about, I'd probably say around 30.
Okay.
I don't really remember. Yeah, probably around 30. And I remember the conversation and it was kind of like, it was weird because there's this transition in life where your parents kind of become like your children in essence, right? You taking care of your parents, like your parents take care of you your whole life. And then you like, man, I got to do what I can do to take care of them.
Absolutely.
Right? So it was kind of, that was that transition point there.
Okay.
And I remember sitting her down at the table and I was like, yo, Ma, like we need you around. Like we only got one left.
Right.
Like Dad gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we only got one parent. And it was kind of, but the thing that's tough is my mom is a nurse by trade.
Yeah.
So she's only really seeing.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Chemo, the treatment,
exactly,
the medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember when I did my research before, when I was learning about chemotherapy and radiation and how like when they're creating these stuff in the lab, like they're in full hazmat suits, right? Full I mean, like on some like, you know, zombie apocalypse type stuff where you got everything, right? But like you're creating these compounds that now people are supposed to put in an IV into their bodies. And I'm just like, yo, that don't make no sense. Like that can't heal you fully. Like that can't like that.
But it's big business.
It's big bro.
Right.
Don't get me started on that. It's money. It's money out here. Like that's really what it's about. But I was talking to Mom, I'm like, yo, Mom, we can't do that because you're gonna end up here. And it was tough for her because that's her background is modern medicine, is, you know, everything she was taught.
How did you transition that?
I had to be real direct. I mean, I was sensitive, but I'm just like, yo, Mom, like, we need you.
Right.
You look real sick.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we got to do. So I kind of laid out a protocol for her and kind of walked her through what that looked like. I keep in this mic, my bad. And I mean, praise God, like we looking up now, you know, what, 7 years later? And she's fully in remission. Wow. 100%. No cancer in sight. But
and that's without chemo.
That's without chemo.
Wow.
So I put her on like what I would do, like, Mom, we should do this. We should start healing your body. We should start healing. Because the thing about chemo, bro, it's like an atomic bomb that's dropping in your body. Like you killing everything good and bad.
Right.
So you left with like nothing, really.
Right.
So you gotta like, your body has to like recuperate. I mean, you're basically killing everything. So it's like,
my question that I have is, what made her trust you though? You know what I'm saying? Like what made her trust you with all her background and all of her knowledge and stuff like that? Like for she had to die to her own knowledge and her own methods of medical history and everything like that. Like for her to be able to trust her son. And I know as a parent, I don't have kids, but I just think like as an uncle, like my nephew coming to me and be like, all right, I got this thing. And I'm like, I've actually been studying medicine. Did you see the humility happen at a certain point for her to be able to listen to you and trust you? And where did the confidence come for you to even overpower the medicine while talking to her? I know you said you talked to her direct, but tell me about the transition. I just want to know when she accepted it to be able for this healing process to take place.
yeah, well, here's the thing. When I came at her, I came at her through scripture.
Okay.
She loves God more than me.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Now this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted, Jay.
Yeah, so I had to break down some verses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ooh, she loved God more than me. Come on now.
Yeah, like I mean, everything. I had to, break down, beloved, I pray that you prosper and be good health, even as your soul prospers, right? Like, I had to break down Genesis 1:29. Like listen, like God, this is what God gave us. You know what I'm saying? Like every seed-bearing plant, right? Every fruit-bearing tree He's given us for food. Like this is the code. Like this is the cheat code. In Scripture, the leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nations. Like there's so many things that are in Scripture that's like, Mom, like we gotta trust God on this.
Yeah.
Like let's trust God on this, and like if it doesn't, like we gotta leave it with Him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like let's not trust man. Like let's trust God. So just sharing Scripture was kind of what was able to help me for her to kind of warm up to that idea. So yeah, I mean, Mom is still mom.
Mom, of course. Right.
Yeah, as much as she loves her baby boy, like it was still a struggle for her. But yeah, definitely the God thing, man.
And so now
put her over the top.
So that was about 7 years ago. She's healthy, well, remission, zero cancer. Like that's phenomenal in itself.
For sure.
Without having to put that poison in her body. So when did you decide and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving corporate America.
Yeah.
My life's work now will be in this particular space here.
Yeah. So I had always been working on my health stuff on the side. Meaning creating, content, courses, programs. I kind of always been like, even when I worked at corporate America, like I praise God that, when I was able to, when I'm at the desk, when I was at the computer, I'd always have time to, kind of still build, what I'm saying, what I wanted to on the side, because that was really what I was passionate about. The corporate America stuff was just a check.
Right.
I needed to pay the bills. But I think the biggest transition happened, to be honest, like right around COVID, or right like during COVID, because people were really desperate to not get COVID and not die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
now they care about their health.
Now they care about their health. So like
fear, man.
It's fear.
Yeah.
But the thing about fear, it's interesting, right? Fear is never a long-term motivator.
Yeah.
Like fear can get you tight for a second, but unless your why is stronger than the immediate, like you're not gonna last on that thing. Fear can start you, but like it's not gonna finish you. You're not gonna run the race with just fear. So yeah, fear starts, and a lot of people were scared during COVID, and I was really able to help a lot of people during COVID. People were at the house, people were eating everything. You know what I'm saying? Going to the fridge 3-4 times an hour because they're bored.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Going to the pantry.
Fact.
Like eating was kind of entertainment.
No, seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Because people were so bored at the crib. So a lot of people were like doing bad. Like, man, I gained 10, 15, 20 pounds here in the last couple months. I'm also scared, of of COVID. I know how to get my health together. So it was really around then that I went heavy, like on my Facebook, in my Facebook group, and, kind of building everything else out. And had like my membership really start growing and building. Then from there, like the courses and the one-on-one coaching. So it's just kind of like, I would say before everything been kind of like growing, but then from there I kind of had more of a spike and a little more momentum after that.
Yeah. So I would like to talk about two people close to you,
Yeah.
who you've helped, kind of go throughout that journey, and I'll let you briefly kind of share from there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So
Guy right
one
here.
is yours truly. You know what I'm saying? Moss Talks, right?
What's up?
So can I tell them? Did you ever tell Boogie?
I literally
how-
just almost cussed you out on camera.
Did you?
Like,
you wouldn't do
my
that.
God.
Come on, man. of
I
God.
wouldn't.
Hey, but did you ever
can't.
tell Boogie what Big Shan said that made you say, okay, let me go ahead and just take this thing serious?
Have we talked
Yeah.
about that? Okay.
I don't know if you hit. I think you shared with me, but
Okay.
you should let the viewers know.
Okay. Because that's actually crazy because he said something before that actually just made clear why I struggled and why I went back and forth so much. And you said fear is never a long-term motivator.
Right.
Fear's why I started though. I was never afraid of physically looking bad my whole life. I didn't care. My you good?
No, wait.
No, you was getting some heartfelt stuff. Go ahead, bro.
What I cared about, bro, was not reaching my potential. I still care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I know that I feel it. I have a best part of myself and a worst part of myself that wrestles all the time. And the worst part of myself doesn't feel worse. It just feels comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels comfortable. It's like just going along with what's happening. And the best part of me is normally the part that's uncomfortable. It's pushing me or pulling me to do something more than what I'm doing, right? So I'm constantly wrestling with being comfortable or pushing more. All right, cool. But to Jeremy's point,
Please.
Oh my God. This crazy.
You're good. To my point.
Big Shan, we did the conference last year, and I was on stage. We was rocking. We was killing it. The conference was just amazing, right? Big Shan is sitting in the VIP section, and I remember during one of the breaks, I went over there to go talk to him, show him some love. And he sat down. He's like, Mike, I keep looking at you.
No, Big Shan is the big homie, and he's blunt, so you never know.
100%.
Big Shan had called me with some stuff that came out your mouth. I'm like, bro, none of my team members will talk to me this way, right? But he the big homie, so I just had to set it up.
I ain't
Go
even
ahead.
get there.
But it
Like,
comes
you
from a
just-
place of love. Go ahead.
He looked at me and said, I keep looking at you. He's like, I'm just trying to wonder. He said, I'm trying to wonder what's off. And I was just like, what you mean? And I'm sitting here like, did I stutter when I was on stage? Like, did I lose the energy in the room? Like, he's like, bro, no. He's like, that's what you do. You killed it. He's like, bro, he's like, I just wonder. He's like, I'm just trying to wonder what's the thing that's gonna take you to the next level. And I'm just sitting here like, I just need to speak more, bro. Like, I be traveling all the time. I just need to relax and just. He's like, nah, that ain't it. And I'm like, what I need to do? And he was just like, it's like, bro, you need to lose weight. And I was just like,
Was that
I thought-
the rated version?
I thought it was different.
I thought it said, nigga, you.
That's what I remember.
how can we talk on the podcast? Jay, tell us what he said. You tell us. This is your show. You got to pay the fine. Go ahead. What'd he say? What'd he say to us, Jay?
my
It's all good. You pay it. This is the.
fine.
You go ahead, Jay.
I'm just trying to figure
Nah,
out.
tell us
that's
what he
the, That's
said.
the good version.
I think that's the only version we tell on this podcast, ain't it?
He was like, Nick, you fat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
He might have said that.
Negro,
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it might have been straightforward like
overweight.
that.
But
yeah.
but you needed to hear it. And he was just like,
bro, and not only that, bro, it shocked me for months. Like, I was sitting there like, all right, cool. Because it was the first time when you look at yourself third person. You know what I'm saying? Normally, when you look at yourself, you look down, you're like, all right, cool. Can't see my belly. I'm good. It's just a shirt baggy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't the belly ain't there.
Right.
It's just the shirt bag. You bought a shirt to make you feel better.
Right.
He's looking at you straightforward. He's seeing as is. He's like you said, you fat. And so I'm sitting there, I'm just like, oh, let me stop looking like this. Let me see the angle you looking from. And so I start looking at myself on stage, third person. Now, when people are sending me clips for me to post and pictures for me to post, I'm sitting here looking. And Crystal's looking at she's like, look at this good shot of us. And I'm looking at my stomach like, I mean, if you want to post it, you can. But I've never seen myself this way, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you look through a different lens.
I've looked at a different
It's
lens.
like the mirrors. You ever go like in the circus or carnival?
Right,
You stand in front of the mirror.
Exactly.
It's like,
The funhouse mirror.
Right.
Oh gosh, it's not so funny
but
anymore.
something about for real.
Oh, that's crazy.
But something about him shooting straight with me allowed me to see myself clearly.
And then you said, I know who to go to, James, or did y'all just have a
Heck
convo?
no. I had to.
how did you get to
I had
James?
to accept. First of all,
No, you accepted it, but how did you?
I didn't know James did this. Like,
Right.
James has been making bread off of this for a long time. He even was helping my mom. And I didn't know he did it.
But he was helping your mom.
Wait a minute.
This is what I'm saying. It's crazy. Like, I know my boy through my brother, like through our own relationship. So I wasn't talking business or thinking business. And then I remember he was doing the smoothie thing at some point, right? Like he had the thing.
cold press.
Yeah.
He was working on campus. He was doing stuff with the different universities and stuff like that. But I've always, anytime when it comes down to stuff like this, I've missed out on information because I don't put myself into other people's business. If it's not brought to me, it's the way that my mom has raised us to stay away from gossip and stay away from drama. But I've learned in my adult years that I've also missed out on certain stuff that could have benefited me because I don't put myself in certain situations. So my brother, one of the closest people to me, is literally saving people's lives, and I have no idea that it exists. So
I think that you knew, but you didn't know what extent. Like,
To
you
the
didn't
extent,
know
exactly.
to what extent that I was helping people.
because the juicing and
that
everything,
makes
like
sense.
I said, smoothie, I apologize.
So,
Juicing.
yeah, so I did. So I've done a few challenges online, and your mom was a part of one of the challenges.
Right.
So, she lost some weight, feeling good.
Right.
And maybe had mentioned it to you, but you didn't know that, people losing 50, 60, 70, 80. Like, you didn't know, like, to that
Shaking
degree.
diabetes and
The diabetes, the high cholesterol, the
high blood pressure.
high blood
all that.
pressure.
Bro, I
everything.
would have been sold once you told me that this happened after your dad.
Right.
As soon as I would have known that this came about, like this passion came about after you losing your pops, you would have had all my attention instantly. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that for me is longevity.
But
It didn't happen like that, though.
And when you dropped it on them, was it like bet? Or did you need time to process the meal plan prep? Because we're talking about going from eating, you traveling all over the world, eating whatever, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of get your hands on. To now.
What's going on with the specific meals, bro? Like, Whataburger ain't even in Chicago. Like, what made you go to Texas?
Bro, you international,
What made you go?
bro. But was
Yeah.
it
You want me to
more-
tell the story?
Yeah, so what's interesting is, like,
Snitch.
when you asked about that question, so
growth,
I remember
okay?
talking
Growth.
to Mike. This was a few months. This was, I don't even remember. It was probably the beginning of the year, maybe the end of last year. And I remember talking to you on the phone. I was driving to Orlando, and we hadn't caught up for a while.
Oh, yeah, we
'cause
had
you
one of our catch-ups.
Exactly,
Yeah,
we have catch up. So, these my boys, but like life happens so much.
For
Like
sure.
we have the one catch up that's like catch up over like the last 6 months. Or last 3 months.
Bro, and for our viewers, sorry, y'all, I need to zoom in real quick. For our viewers, y'all, like there are quality relationships that you have. And I tell people, I've said this on previous podcasts, I'm not the type of friend that I can talk to you all the time. We're not the type of friends that's available that we can just talk every day.
I am.
Outside of
I'm a good friend.
all right,
I'm
all right.
always available.
All right, that's what's up.
You should hand Jeremy what's on your head.
Other than the cap that Jeremy's wearing. Crystal, thank you for the line.
That was mine, because that was not true.
I'll take
You should
that.
hand
cuz.
Jeremy the cap that's on your head. I like that. Thank you. We're not the friends that can do the day to day, the quantity type of stuff. Like, and we need the quality though. You know what I'm saying? So these are the friends I don't have to question. I can always pop up, and I know that we Gucci, right? So we was having one of those.
Yeah, we was having one of those, and I remember you telling me, like, yo, I feel a little heavy, like my knees are bothering me. Like, you was telling me about your health.
Facts.
And at that point, I could have been like, bro, I can help you. But I didn't. Because I'm like,
How
okay,
serious is he?
you gotta be at the point where you willing to ask for help. You gotta be at the point where you hit your rock bottom.
Yeah.
For then you to be like, okay, this is what I want to do. Because
You knew
I could
that
put a lot
then?
of people on.
You knew that then?
No, I didn't know that.
No,
that's why I didn't.
No, that I needed that to be at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone, like, to do a whole life transformation,
Come on, talk about it.
everybody has hit that spot. Because what happens is, if you're not there, you will still give yourself an excuse to fail. You'll reserve some failure because that's what you're used to when you tried this stuff before and failed, and it's familiar. So you'll say, I'm not about to go 100%. I'm not about to go all the way in. I'm going to come a little bit. I'm gonna give it a little bit, and then if it doesn't work, I'm gonna just say it didn't work for me. So like when I work with people, I'm not into that.
And you don't want to waste your time.
Nah, I'm not into wasting my time. Like you gotta be like saying, you know what?
Desperate.
Desperate.
So at what point did you realize that this is what he did, and did you offer your services? Like, where's the intersection?
So my whole thing, what he's saying is just on point. You gotta be willing to hit rock bottom. I was at rock bottom. Like for me, I was so desperate to change. Like you're talking to somebody who loses weight fairly easily once I give everything to it. And so I know how to give everything to it. I don't know how to do it long term.
Right.
So I
The consistency part. Because that's what makes people great.
Exactly. I do 60-day challenges. I do 90-day challenges. I lose 30. I lose 35. I lose 40 pounds. It's the day 91.
So then
it's the day 61.
At rock bottom,
Right.
how did you find out that James did this?
Do you remember how I found out? I think my mom might have mentioned it, something like that.
So the reason why it's important is because if you ask questions when you're at your rock bottom and you talk to the network and the circle that's around you, you ultimately get to what you need.
Got you.
And
Okay.
So the
I see what you're
importance
saying.
of this is how you got there to even know what the connection is, because this connection is greater than you find in some random health person.
Absolutely. Agree. So what happened is that my mom have always been saying, Mike, I want us to work on our weight together. We want to do this together. I'm like, all right, mama, lead by example. Like once you show me that you're serious and you lose some weight, then okay, you can reference me somebody. But right now, we just two big people talking. You know what I'm saying? Like we just two out of shape people having a conversation. Like I want to hear somebody who know what they talking about, or go do what you want me to see, and then tell me about it. But then I think randomly she had mentioned like that she had done something with James, and I was like, my James?
He was like, that's my brother, right?
And she was just like, yeah. She was like, he helped me do this, and this, and I was like, oh, bet I'm gonna call him then. And so when I made the call, he kind of went through that process. James I don't know, y'all see James' demeanor. Like I always envy people that are naturally like just lay back and cool like that. Like not like you at all, James. Me and you, Jeremy, are just alike. We're not naturally cool. Well, no, we're not actually.
Anyway,
we're not naturally cool.
For the sake of time, because we got so much more ground to cover.
When you in your purpose and when you focus, it's cool. But let me focus anyway. But I always envy people like this because it's almost like a reservation that don't need attention, but it's like I see them so clear, right? I wanted to know how he could help me, and James was more interested in wanting to know what I wanted. So he always was wanting me to speak about what are you looking for, what do you want to see happen, what's going on with you, and that's kind of like how the spiel happens.
That's like a good like salesman, like car salesman. It's like as opposed to saying I'm gonna offer you this. Well, what are you looking for?
So
in
true,
vehicle?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like what's gonna best fit your needs for you and your family.
Exactly.
So you had to ask him what is it that you want.
Right.
And he was like, man, I want to lose weight. I want to be healthy. I want to feel strong. I want to feel great. And then you was obviously like, okay, here's the game plan.
Right. Sure.
So let's get to it. You put him on a pretty strict, I wouldn't call it a diet because it's like a lifestyle change. Because people think diet, they think this is just something I'm doing for a short period of time, right?
Yeah.
Phase.
So yes, but I wouldn't say it's strict.
Okay.
And this is why. Because
or drastically different from what he was used to?
it's different. It's different because it's plants.
Okay.
Right? It's all plants. It's all grains. It's all, legumes. It's all vegetables. But there's so much variety of things you can eat.
Right.
And you can eat as much as you want. So this is not a diet. I'm glad you said that because a diet is something that's temporary and it doesn't last long term. And it's really only focused on you losing the weight for a second. It doesn't really care about what you do after that. But this is a whole lifestyle.
So true.
This is a whole changing your mindset around food. This is about self-control. Like this is about like really taking ownership of your life. And typically a lot of people don't have self-control in the area of food. Other areas, they might be tight. Real tight in other areas. But when it comes to food, that's something that's really a lot of people's Achilles heel. So yeah, it was totally different than what Mike was accustomed to. Also, Mike is a travel agent, so Mike is always traveling. So he's getting stuff quick, right, when he can get it in. So just like him having to really learn about why he's eating this way, and then like sign up for it, meaning like I'm ready and willing to do it, and for him to do it, it was just phenomenal. I mean, he's had incredible results. I mean, Mike has, it's so cool to see because I've helped a lot of people, but they're not family to me. They're not really that close to me, right?
Right.
But to see Mike and to see like what this is doing for you, and just in the short time we worked together has been absolutely phenomenal, bro.
Bro, I literally called over 4 kids to the crib yesterday to take out 75% of my wardrobe. I can't fit my stuff. Like a lot of my stuff, I just can't use it. You know what I'm saying? And what happened is that you got your favorite hoodie, you got your favorite clothes, and so I'm trying to hold on to certain stuff from emotional attachment, and I'm like, there's a next level God's trying to bring me to. So it's like, you know what? I was like, I get to choose 3 things out of every season. So I got 3 of my favorite coats. You know what I'm saying? I got a pea coat, I got a leather coat, I got something else I took out. Then I went to my jackets. I was like, okay, you take some jackets out. Then you take 3 hoodies. Then you take 3 t-shirts. Take 3 pairs of jeans and da-da-da-da. And all of those things I took out of my room.
And what did that do?
And then I let them go into the room and take everything else out.
But what did that do for you?
What it did for me is it opened up space. You know what I'm saying? Like now I don't have much left.
You were able to release.
So now I'm able to release to receive. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it's
what that got to do with you losing the weight? What
I'm saying is that I lost so much weight. I can't fit none of my stuff. 70% of my stuff is gone.
So now you got to go shopping again.
It's not about going shopping,
I'm
Jay.
saying,
It's about the fact that
you got space in your closet.
Yeah.
What's
I
the
see what's being said is
what's going on?
He's trying to get the punchline of what's going on.
Right, because I really want to talk about more so the discipline you had to fight through. Okay, you cleared your closet out.
He's saying this is a milestone you're getting over.
He basically saying, just shut up, that don't matter.
Now you're able.
That's what it sounds like.
Once you've accomplished that, now you're able to release so that you can see what that next chapter looks like for you.
All right, cool.
Got you. So,
okay.
but I guess for me, I wanted to get what's going to help the people, which I feel is so great. I was like, okay, you clear a bunch of clothes out. It's like, okay, but bro, the discipline you've had, that's what I want to talk about.
It's the discipline. But also I want to go back to the challenges, because the challenges is what got him to this next level here. There's a reason why you, James, and Jeremy are on a text message together. Can we talk about that a little bit?
I don't know. I'll be regretting it every day.
You don't mean that, bro. And it be the highlight of my day.
Oh, no, it don't.
It do.
No, it don't.
Let me just say something. I really want to celebrate you, bro, because I know how much this is stretching you
every day.
So that's why I wasn't trying to slight you with the let's move past the closet. That ain't like major. What's major is when you could order that Philly cheesesteak sandwich, or you could order something quick on Uber Eats, but you like, no, I'm a limp or walk or wheelchair to the grocery store to go down the produce aisle. I'm just saying whatever it takes to buy the fruits and the vegetables, to cook that meal, to do that meal prep. So when you like, I'm going to be in Vancouver on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Dallas, and then Tampa Thursday, and I'm not back home in Chicago until Friday, but I prep my meals. Like, bro, that takes intentionality. Like, that means you're desperate. That means that causes you to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to focus on that because I finish it for me, right? The most successful people in the world aren't the most gifted, smart, or the talented. They're the most what? Disciplined. So I just wanted to highlight that piece.
So that's huge. And I think with that discipline is like the major piece of that is I'm gonna go back to self-control, right? Like when you look at scripture, right? When it says the fruits of the spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, kindness, patience, et cetera, et cetera. The last one is self-control. So I think it's the last one for a reason, right? If you as a kid, right, you play like Mario or whatever, right? You have the first boss you gotta beat, and then the second boss you gotta beat, and every boss gets a little bit harder, right? Self-control is that last boss you gotta beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally the last one in the line of all the fruits of the spirit. So you might have all these other things, but if you don't have self-control is huge. Like, if you think about it, if you don't have control over yourself, who has control of you? Like, you have no control of yourself. So like, I think the key for you, yes, the discipline was strong. You had to say, okay, I'm about to be gone for these many days. I need to meal prep. I need like all the different things you needed to do. But like, the program is not difficult. It's actually quite easy. As far as, if you have access to a kitchen and you can prepare food or whatever. Like, it's not that I'm making y'all do a whole bunch of random stuff. It's not. It's really, really easy.
I say it's simple. I wouldn't say easy, but it's very simple.
It's very simple.
I agree.
It's very simple. But the self-control piece, when you do want to order that pizza, where you do want to have those fries, when you, like that muscle that you have to build every single time. Because most people they're just gonna be like, I'm just gonna indulge. I did good for the last couple of days. I'm just gonna indulge. I mean, this culture, like we really have like a cheat meal culture.
Yeah.
Where you really embed into your life, I'm gonna do good for these many days, but this day I'm gonna splurge.
So true.
Right? There's a culture here of moderation, right? Like, I'm not gonna fully give it up because I really want it. So I'm just gonna have a little bit here and a little bit there. You'll never overcome anything in moderation. You gotta kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta kill it. You gotta chop his head off.
What comes first, bro? The discipline or the
self-control?
Self-control. And I'm actually because when you mention self-control,
that's a good question.
That's another layer to it.
Yo.
So let's process this. It's like in order for me to have self-control, I gotta be disciplined.
Sure.
But in order for me to be disciplined, I gotta be able to control myself. So maybe they go like hand in hand.
Right.
What'd you think, Chris?
Yeah, they seem like brothers, like sisters.
Right.
They're the same.
Not even cousins, like brothers. And sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both important.
Yeah,
they're both important.
But I think it speaks to, because I was celebrating his discipline, and you like, yeah, but you celebrating the self-control, because this is like, because you could have did something else. Like, bro, tell the people what I told you killing. I called Mike a serial killer.
Oh, he
does.
He does.
I was like, bro, you killing obesity. You killing laziness. You killing average. You killing undisciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you killing. You killing fat. You killing disease. Like, you killing all of that.
Right.
So it's like you're going through a process of like denying yourself, denying the flesh that just wants to gauge and do whatever we want. Like you're going through that process and it's making you a new man. And I told Mike, Chris, I said, look, bro, this new person you are, that you're becoming, bro, you're going to stand on stages. You're going to have a word. There's going to be a certain anointing. There's going to be a certain power because it comes from a place. Right. See, God has taken me through a whole lot of pain. So that's where my anointing comes from. Right. But it's like you subscribe for it. You like, yo, I'm going to go through this process. But here's the crazy thing. Like James is saying, it's not like it's super hard. It's just when we're so undisciplined for so long.
Exactly.
Bro, I'm out here kicking in doors, running nightclubs. Like, so to go from that to live a servant for Christ, it's actually not hard, but it's drastically different from what I was used to.
Right.
And so you're going through a process of you killing the old you, and now you're emerging into this new person. You mind giving the folks an update to like where you are weight-wise, health-wise?
So I started out, I was 282 pounds when I started this journey. And it's funny because a lot of people always be like, Mike, you don't look like you 282. I was like, bro, what does it look like? Because I'm telling you, I'm wearing it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
People told you that?
Bro.
And I wouldn't really put a number on it, but I could tell my dog was solid.
Well, what would be the number you put on there? How much would you
I don't want to put a number on it.
Who cares? Big Shan already did it.
How much?
What would you see?
How much have you lost?
Cool. To date, I've lost 40 pounds.
Come on, put the applause effect in. Come on, man. And let me tell you what I like about Mike, and I'm going to pass it to you, Boogie, to give some final words and we'll wrap it up. But I like the fact that Mike really wasn't even trying to.
I still ain't. I don't like it.
He really put it out here because he like, bro, I'm not done yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because and not only that, just that, but I don't see what y'all see. Like what I see is that today's not done. Right. Like we got a barbecue and I got anxiety. Like everybody else is about to go kick it. And I'm trying to figure out, I need to go to my room, shut the door, ice my leg, and have my vegetables. Because everything can trigger me. And all it takes is one thing to restart my whole process. Yeah. And when I restart my process, I let myself down. I let the people who believe in me down. I do this. So I already have in my mindset, where's Mike the fun guy? Why he ain't out here making everybody laugh? And it's because I'm focused on something. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. And so I'm already trying to come up with an excuse why I'm not available. Like,
I like it.
And it's stressful because it's like, do I be good to everybody else or do I be good to myself? Do I keep making sure everybody else is good? Where's Mike at? Mike, why you avoiding me? That's not naturally who I am for people. So how can I serve you and do me? I can't do both. I just got to do what's best for me. And I got to hope that people that want the best for me understand it in time. But for right now, I'm going to do what's working. And I'm going to do what I committed to, and everything else is going to fall into play. Yeah. But I am like y'all. Like every time y'all compliment me, it stresses me out because I'm like, every last time y'all compliment me, I failed, and now I got caught up on the compliment, and I stopped focusing.
But now we compliment you and we hold you accountable.
But you was holding me accountable then too.
Yeah, it's different.
It's just
though.
I lost focus though.
It's
you know
different
what I'm
though.
saying?
We on every day though.
No, I know you've never changed, but I'm saying this is discipline. This is self control. I lose my self control when I wander off of my focus. So when people tell me like, Mike, you're doing so good, you look so good, I'm like, thank you, but I gotta go eat good.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you hear too many compliments so long, you almost get to start celebrating.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I ain't won yet. You know what I'm saying? So even the celebration factor for me makes me nervous because I don't want to stay there too long to where I forget to go back and do exactly what I need to do. And that's the only thing that I'm saying.
That's why I left Huntsville, bro. Everywhere I was going, people was like, "Oh, you killing it, you crushed it, you've arrived."
Right.
I was like, "I'm in the wrong, small pond. I gotta get to the ocean. I'm out of here." So I can respect it. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Somebody else might need that encouragement.
Oh, and at certain times, bro, it's exactly what I needed.
Right.
Bro, there's been times when you've encouraged me, and I think I've said it, like, bro, you left me voice notes, and I've literally listened to it and cried. Because I'm like, man, he sees me better than I see myself. And I was like, the way that you see me is what I needed to stay on the journey. You know what I'm saying? There's things that James has said to me, and I'm just like, for real, coach? Like, dang, that's dope. Like, I don't see him as a brother in that moment. I see him as somebody that I'm trying to make proud. And when I hear that from him, I'm like, all right, cool. So if I keep doing this, we on the same page. Like, I'm not the way I feel.
Right.
I'm better than how I feel.
Bro, and me and Boogie, we already told you this ain't nothing new, but we having side conversations about you. We strategizing. We plotting. Like, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. Like, because we want you to win. Yeah. And that's the last part I wanted to share. I don't know if Chris had anything.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask.
The importance of community.
Yeah, where would people find you if they want to get started with your program?
Yeah, for sure. So you can definitely go. So I kind of really gave some high level advice, eat plants, whatever. But if you really want to like get the whole game, you should go to my website, www.abundanthealthaccelerator.com. Sign up for the free masterclass. I break down everything that you need to really get started, really get rolling. You don't even really necessarily need me. All the game is there, completely free. You should just check me out there.
What is it? Abundant Health?
AbundantHealthAccelerator.com.
Yeah. AbundantHealthAccelerator.com. For the people listening, I just wanted to get it, AbundantHealthAccelerator.com.
Exactly.
You do weekly or monthly masterclasses?
So right now I just have this one that I'm running, but I do keep updating them.
Okay, good.
And then also IG James Eats Plants. So JAMES Eats Plants. You can catch me on IG. Shoot me a message. Like if you struggling, if you need that, like, yeah, I'll definitely have a talk.
And you do like consultations and all that stuff with them?
Consultations, check, see how people are, what they want, and see how I can help.
Got it.
I'm sharing this episode with my folks. They'll be here today too. Cool. I want to definitely have you tap in.
It's a game changer, man.
Tap in with them. Oh, for sure, bro.
It's a game changer.
I told my pops, I was like, look, bro, I need you at Jules' wedding.
Yeah.
I was like, bump the because I was like, graduation. I'm like, my little girl 10, that's in 7 years. I need you around a minute. Like my mom, I told my mama, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need you in the back pinning Jackson's little croissant. I'm hungry.
Corsage.
Corsage. Yeah. to his jacket for his wedding.
That just triggered me. I started licking my lips. I was like, you sound like she pinning what?
Watermelon.
And watermelon good too.
There we go. That's why I'm throwing that at you.
Good too.
Man, Boogie. Man, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, bro.
Not just thank you for just being 10 toes down with me all these years and never changing but evolving.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for supporting Mike, man.
Appreciate
you for always being in my corner, bro. Thank you for tapping in with us, man. Love you, boy.
Love you, man.
Definitely.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skinny Mini. Slim Thug.
What'd you say? I went from what?
You went from Big Papa to Slim Thug. Man, appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. We'll see
for
y'all
sure,
next
man.
week.